Hey everybody, sorry it's been a while. Just been really busy and I've been away quite a bit. And okay, so I'll just get straight into it. I've only got about 8 hours on it so far. Had a few cooling issues, pretty much resolved, but I think it was right on the limit. I think it's mainly because I live in quite a hot environment in Central Australia. As you can see, it's quite dry, everything's dead. But I've done a few other mods. Had another radiator by Mark Ellery made up. It's a bit bigger, it's about 20mm higher. It's got 4 cores in it, and it's about probably 20 or 30mm wider. The bloke that made it in Melbourne told Mark that he guarantees about 60% greater cooling. And so I've only run it a couple of times so far, and it seems to be maintaining about 100 degrees. I think I've still got a little bit of air in the system, which is really quite hard to get out of this engine. But it takes a few days. You've got to run it up basically and let it cool down, and then coolant will suck. As you can see, the coolant, there's still air in there because that should be full. So I've just literally just run it up to temperature. I haven't started it for nearly a week and a half. I just fired straight to life. But basically the big thing I want to show today, outside of that radiator, which I'll get some results, a little bit more information on as I once I'm happy that all the air's out of the block. As you know, I had just a straight out exhaust system on it, and it was just too loud, really. So what I've had made up is basically this bit from here down by a fella in Melbourne. I think he's an absolute genius. It's a work of art, the muffler. It's only 200mm long, and it's a lot more pleasant inside the cabin than it was with the straight through exhaust. So it's quite a bit quieter, and it only it weighs about 1.5 kilos. That whole thing, maybe a bit less, maybe about 2 pounds. Maybe about 1 kilo. I'm really happy with it. I've been doing that all morning this morning, and you can see there's my little bit of cocky shit welding on there just for that bracket. This piece forward was I'd already had made up, so I basically cut it off here and fitted this bit on there. Bloke's name Steve in Melbourne. He's has a shop called I think it's Rotax Performance, and basically he does a lot of work on Rotax engines and rebuilds them, but he also turbocharges them and runs them at about 5 pounds with about 130 horsepower, and they just haul ass. It would have been good to have something like that in this, but I'm really happy with this engine. It's really cool. So yeah, but there's my new exhaust system. I'll try and get some footage of it soon. Hopefully we'll be back flying in the next week or so, as soon as I'm happy that all the air's out of the system. I've also put some fuel flow senders in. They're in there. I've still got to finish programming those in my EFIS, but pretty much everything's working now. It's taken a little while to get everything programmed and going and that. Also, the bolly prop I've got now set at 24 degrees. I think that's probably as good as it's going to get on a 66-inch propeller. I've actually got a Luger prop, which is the prop that the Aero Momentum guys recommend, but I'm waiting for the new hub to come from America. From the Ukraine. I've got the blades at home, which is a 67 3/4 inch prop, and it's a scimitar style blade. So I'm going to try that out, because at the moment we're cruising at about 105 to 110 knots, which is not too bad, considering I've got no wheel pants on it. So I'm not too bad. It's a 117 horsepower engine, so I would expect about 110 to 115 knots cruise, maybe 120, and at least 120 to 130 once I've got my wheel pants on. Which I still need to do, which I will do soon. I'm going to keep doing some testing with this radiator, and hopefully I don't need to put an oil cooler on it. I think the Aero Momentum engines are now coming with an oil cooler, and I do have one at home, but I don't know where I'm going to fit it. I know Dick Goslin's one. He fitted underneath it. He fitted it under his sump, and yeah, his runs beautiful temperatures. So yes, hopefully I can get away without putting the oil cooler in, because I'd like to keep the weight down a bit. It's only another couple of kilos, but you know, I'd like to keep it down as much as I can. But failing that, I will install it somewhere. But outside of that, everything's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this Luger prop and trying it out, seeing if it makes much difference. And we'll keep poking along. Other good news is I've got a new project starting up, and I was given a half-built RV6 kit, so that'll keep me busy for the next few years, and I'll fly this around until I finish building that. But yeah, all right, well, thanks for watching. I hope it was a little bit informative. If you need to know, if anyone's curious as to where I got this exhaust made up, I'll just ask me, and I'll give you his details. And yeah, he's a really good bloke, really nice fella to deal with. And yeah, it's a work of art. I love it. All right, cool. Thanks, everyone. See ya.